Okay, guys, today I want to ask you something very important. This was something that just a few days back I asked myself, and I honestly feel like a lot of us aren't asking ourselves these questions. So, it's my first week at work, and we're having this outing where we're going to drink or chill or something of that sort, and everybody's in the whole team, my whole new team. It's just been 1 week. I'm the youngest guy on the team, well, disincluding the interns, no hate to them, but it's supposed to be a social ice breaking bonding, and also the more bigger reason was somebody was leaving, but I don't think anybody really cared about that. More importantly, what mattered was we're going out. Now, normally I would say no to such sort of things just because I think it's a waste of time. I know that's not a great way to look at things because it's important to socialize, connect, bond, and all of that stuff. But I don't see the point in doing that over alcohol or any other substance for that matter. But again, I didn't want to miss out. I mean, FOMO is real, and yeah, I didn't want to be left behind. So we go out to this place. It's super fun. It's a semi decent atmosphere, very expensive for my broke ass, but it was good. Now let me tell you a little bit backstory. I am not a drinker. Like, I'm 22 years old and I have barely ever drank alcohol, mostly because of football and also just like my morals and my ethics. I think drinking is a waste of time, and also the health effects. Like, why would you want to damage your body? And also, what part of not being in control of ourselves is exciting? I don't understand. But again, that's just me. So a few drinks in and I'm quite tipsy, right? It goes without saying. Now everybody else around me were way into the amount of drinks that they were drinking, and they were still holding it together. To be very honest, I am just a goofy person, so probably it was just exaggerated by a little bit of alcohol, but I was just feeling myself. I was dancing, I was enjoying. I like to, crack jokes. I'm loud, I can be funny sometimes, and all of those different things. And it was a good night, it was a very peaceful night. And then we go home and we come back to work the next, the Monday, the weekend, the day after the weekend. And everybody's like cracking and joking about the night. And then one thing comes up where everybody was like, yeah, Drew in like so few drinks was like gone. And we were so many drinks down the line and we were still holding it together. Now, to be very honest, for somebody that's very competitive, that kind of hurt my ego, because I was like, competition, like, what the fuck? You're challenging me, all of that stuff. Instantly, like, in that moment, I was like, okay, yeah, you wanna go? Okay, I'll prove you. The next time we go wrong, the next time we go out, I'll prove you wrong. You'll see what it's about and all that stuff. And that's when I realized, after some deeper thought, after some self-reflection, I just thought to myself, like, wait a second, like, is this the game I want to be playing? And that's really when I realized that I don't know whether it's society or whether it's the way we're raised or what it is exactly. I would like to blame something, but then I know that that's not practical either. But something in us has ingrained us to believe that these certain games are right or wrong or are better or good for the overall development of society and humans as creatures. So that's where I realized that some of us are really not picking the right games, and we're really playing games that are detrimental, and I don't want to be judgmental, but really questionable. Like, for example, there's this book called Game Theory, right? And it's all about different tactics while playing any and all sort of games, ranging from business all the way to like sports or anything of that sort. And in that, basically, there's this concept which goes something like, when you play a game, the end outcome of it should benefit both parties. It's called zero-sum games. Now, in this situation, me drinking how many ever drinks and my friend beating me to it, do both parties benefit at all? And even more so, what is the benefit of both parties? Both of us drink, he probably like drinks way more than me, and his ego is boosted, or he gets social appeal or social validation. But what is the end result of it? Like, what is the end output? Is anybody getting benefited from? Is anybody getting any benefit from it other than probably ego boost or a validation at best? Now, this is not me being petty about the fact that I couldn't hold myself together or whatever it is. It's just sheer logic. Like, think about it. Like the other day in my work, one of the interns kept challenging me, yeah, let's play, let's like do hand wrestling, let's do hand wrestling. And we both hand wrestle, right? And then he beats me to it. It's like 2-1 or something like that. What is the end output of this? Like, look, have I gained any more value? Have I become stronger? No. Have I learned about like some thing that can help society or better myself? Not really. What did he get out of it? Validation. Okay, maybe he's stronger at hand wrestling than me. It's really zero sum games, like a lot of games that we play. And for me, being an athlete, somebody that's played football for like most of my life so far, I didn't realize, but even sports for that matter is a zero sum game because there's always a winner and there's a loser. Games in which both parties benefit in some way or the other is ideally the kind of games that I want to be playing. Business, in that matter, is not a zero sum game because if you, let's say, like if you improve your segment of whatever you're doing business in, then you're probably going to improve your competition too. You're going to improve their standards and so many other things. Even politics, for that matter, is something that I really don't like, but that's also not a zero sum game because at the end of the day, if one politician improves his standards and improves society, the other politician is going to have to do the same. So really sitting and thinking about whether or not the game's output is actually worthy of something more than just me winning or me getting some sort of gratification is something that really you need to sit and reflect with whatever game you're choosing to play. Which brings me to the next thing I want to talk about. Most games that we play are for social validation. Whether you like it or not, whether you're playing sports or whether you're trying to compete or whatever it is, it's mostly linked to social appeal and social validation. Either it's something very deeply ingrained in you where you're trying to please somebody or you're some sort of attention deficit kid and you're trying to win something to prove to someone, or in any way you're just trying to be popular, you're trying to be cool and whatever it is. So I think really realizing, like in this case when we went out, drinking was the social appeal. Like by drinking more drinks, you become the cooler person. You are more cool and people are going to think that, okay, this guy like goes out, he's super fun, he knows what he's doing and he's whatever it is. Social appeal. There's nothing wrong with that. Again, there are different ways to achieve social appeal. I'm not going to judge anybody that's choosing whatever game they are, but I strongly believe that alcohol is not the best way for it. There are other ways you can gain social appeal and validation. You can do charitable stuff like, Mr. Beast, for example. I mean, look at him. He gives away so many things people don't see and realize, but he is doing so much for so many people. But at the same time, he is like so popular. He's so famous. Everybody in the world knows him. And you can do other things also. You can become like famous and like encourage people in your community, or you can create good movies, you can create good stories, you can create good art. There is so many better ways that you can go about social appeal. Now, another thing that a lot of times happen when we play games or anything or do anything challenging is sunk cost fallacy. Now, what is sunk cost fallacy? It's basically this theory where you get into something and you're so into it, like you've gone so far, you think, okay, what's the point of stopping now? I might as well go all the way through. It could be like with reading a book. Like a lot of times when I'm reading and stuff, I'd have finished a book like probably 60%, but I'm not able to understand or I'm not able to grasp or I'm not finding it interesting enough. And my head is like, okay, stop. But I'm like, okay, I've gone this far, might as well finish it. And the same example could be used with other things also. You're probably like, doing some sort of alcohol or something, and you're like, okay, I've come this far, might as well go all out. So sunk cost fallacy in games is something that you have to be really mindful about. I think this needs like a lot of mental mastery, and you need to be able to step out of the situation. I haven't quite mastered this yet because I struggle to say no because of my people pleasing tendencies and stuff. But if you can be mindful about sunk cost fallacy while playing any game, you're one step ahead of everybody. Now, what are the games that I am playing and what have I learned about them so far, and what are healthy ways of playing any game? To be very honest, there's 3 games that I'm playing right now. One is a game of money where I'm trying to create wealth, and not money, wealth. So that's one of the games. The second game is social validation. Again, like I said, there are different ways of doing this. Creating content is one of them, for example. You could help others with whatever you know, or documenting your journey, or in any way possible creating something for somebody that might make their day. That's another way to get social appeal. And again, it's not ideal because if you think about it, most famous people are a little bit like gone, but there has to be healthy ways to do it, right? So that's something that I have to figure out, but I think I know how I might do it. I'll talk about that in a second. And the next thing is my health, and by that I mean just taking care of my health, staying fit, staying shredded, staying yoked, being able to run, doing cardio, all of those different things. That's another game. It's challenging because that's a game with yourself, and it's like constant battle, but you have to stick to it. Now, how do I plan on staying or keeping a healthy relationship with all of these games? Now, money is something where you get into the game and it's like an endless cycle, because there is really an endless amount of money anybody can make. Like Elon Musk is not going to stop at 300 or 400 or 500 billion wherever he's at right now. He can make a lot more, and anybody can, really, for that matter. So one way that I think I might be able to exit that game is if I've set a top limit. Now, I very vaguely decided that that limit is a billionaire, but it's not for sure. But I don't know, maybe let's just see how things go. Again, like I said, nothing's guaranteed. I can just do what I can, and I have to just hope that everything works out. But that's probably my limit. Once I reach there, I might ease out of that game and take a step back, and obviously not stop doing anything that makes me better or stops me from learning, but probably just a different game, like not money itself. Like I could probably do much more charitable stuff or teaching or something of that sort. Now, another thing is, like I said, sunk cost fallacy, knowing when I'm too into it and I'm thinking that, okay, I've come this far, so let's just stop. That's something that's very important, I've realized, in any game, especially for me, because I have a lot of problems saying no to people because of my people pleasing tendencies. But knowing when I'm too far into the game and it's probably time to call it quits or try something else or just relax or take it easy, that's something I need to work on. But that's another metric that might help me protect myself from all of these games. Now, another thing is just keeping my part of it in control, like my physical, my mental, and my psychological side of things all in control, like taking time for myself, meditating, giving myself break. Now, I know with a lot of these games, like money, for example, it's not exactly possible to have my mental health in the best condition, and I was ready to give that up to be honest when I started. Not because I don't prioritize mental health, but it's just that it takes so much more than we realize, and being in that journey, I do know that it does. Like it takes a lot to keep going and not slack off and just be like, okay, fine, I'll let loose today. And there are days I do that, but again, there's the whole beating myself up for that even. So I think mental side of it I have to still figure out, and I don't know whether I will be able to figure out, but hopefully I do. But physical, though, I've definitely got to check. I go to the gym every morning, I run, I do all that shit, and full shred I am. But that part is taken care of. Psychological, again, I try to talk to my girlfriend, or I hang out with my parents, and I don't really talk to my friends. But again, yeah, that's psychological, mental, sort of similar. I have to figure my way around those, but that's something I had to decide that I'm ready to sacrifice, and that's what it probably takes. I don't know for sure, but I hope that's what it takes, because if I sacrifice all of that and it doesn't happen, that's just going to be sad. But I'm pretty confident that it will work out at the end of the day. Now, I know again this video was a little random. I'm struggling to make my script and my videos a little bit more in detail. I definitely want to experiment with different formats of video. I want to try more in my life, a story, not a vlog exactly, but more interactive content, because this is just like I'm just sitting and talking, and like, although I know that it's the most practical long term, considering how busy I might be in the future and all of that. But let's see. So I might change that and experiment with things around. But that's it for this video, guys. And so yeah, I just want to leave you with a thought to reflect on. Ask yourself, what game are you playing and whether the game is worth it or not. A lot of us are trapped to believe that we're playing the right game or there's some sort of benefit from the game. When I play the money game, a lot of us see it as something negative, but I see it as, okay, I can make a lot of money, I can give a lot of people in my life comfort, I can give myself comfort, I can take care of a lot of situations that you might not be able to take care of without money. And I'm sure tomorrow if the world's ending, that money is not going to matter, but at least I have that comfort knowing that, okay, like tomorrow if somebody in my family fell sick, then I might be able to take care of them. And I can also do a lot of other charitable stuff. So with money, we think about, I think it's sad that usually the people that make money, like especially in India, like they do it in like some sort of KD way, and it's sort of ingrained in us that people that have money are evil, or and it's usually the people that have money and are doing messed up things that come in media and become famous and all of that stuff. So that's why I started this channel, because hopefully if I'm able to make money, then I want to show people that you can do it the right way. And I believe that one of the parts of making that money and doing it the right way is being charitable. So I have this dream, right? I want to open or get like this huge piece of land where I adopt stray cows, cats, dogs, and keep them there, give them sort of a home or a sanctuary, and for no benefit at all. It's just going to be some sort of charity thing. So again, that's something that I cannot do with other games. Do you think me playing the alcohol game is going to get me to be able to do that? No. Do you think me doing arm wrestling is going to get me to be able to do that? So ask yourself, what games are you playing and whether it's worth it or not. Again, I'm not saying don't go out, don't drink, don't have fun. That's something that I believe is a waste of time. So I'm not going to sit here and lie and be like, oh, go have fun and all. But when I know at some point everybody does need a little bit of it. So just figure out when you're playing it for the wrong reasons and when you're actually just doing it because you want to be around your friends and all of that stuff. So that's it for this video, guys. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you until next time, hopefully with some more better content. I'm sorry for the disappointing videos that have come out in the past 3 weeks, but I promise to make it better. I'm just trying to stick through and go through the motions. So that's it, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.